So today, let's talk about affirmations. But you know what? Let's strip away all the abstract stuff and turn them into a practical tool you can actually use. Right now, we're going to lean on Emilie Cady's classic Lessons in Truth to build a really simple framework for focusing your mind on purpose.
Okay, let's just get right into it. Have you ever tried to be positive, to think about a good outcome, and your brain just immediately starts listing all the reasons why it's not going to work? That's what Katie called getting stuck on contrary evidence. It's that super frustrating mental habit where we focus on the problem instead of the potential.
So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll look at that mental trap. Then we'll talk about the tools to get out of it. And finally, we'll walk through a simple practice you can literally start using today. Katie's whole approach kicks off with this really simple but powerful idea. She makes a distinction between what she calls appearances, the temporary facts of a situation like a scary deadline or a tough conversation you have to have, and truth, which she says is our deeper, unchanging potential for capability and growth. So when we fixate on all the bad stuff that could happen, we're basically treating those temporary appearances as if they're the permanent truth. We give the problem all of our attention, all of our focus, and that's exactly what keeps us stuck. So really, the first step is just to notice when we're doing this in our own heads. So if that's the trap, how do we get out of it? Well, Katie offers this really cool two-part toolkit for retraining your mind: denials and affirmations. And look, this isn't about ignoring reality or pretending problems don't exist. It's about consciously choosing where you put your mental energy. So what does it really mean to affirm? According to Cady, it's simply asserting a chosen truth, even when everything you see around you seems to scream the opposite. It is not wishful thinking. It's a deliberate act of steering your attention. It's a conscious, disciplined choice about where you place your focus. The best way to think about it is like gardening. Seriously, denials are like pulling the weeds. They clear out the old, limiting beliefs that aren't helping you anymore. Then, affirmations are like planting the seeds. They help you grow and strengthen new, more positive beliefs. You've got to clear the space first, and then you can build something new. Now, Katie knew that repeating these statements is basically just self-training for a mind that's used to old habits. And what's wild is that modern behavioral science totally backs this up. It's kind of like what James Clear talks about in Atomic Habits. Every small action you take casts a vote for a new identity. Well, every time you repeat an affirmation, you're casting a vote for a new belief. And over time, that actually helps retrain your mental pathways. Okay, so Katie takes this whole idea one step further with something she calls a decree. This is where the practice stops being passive and becomes really active and intentional. This idea comes from an old passage that says, "Decree a thing and it shall be established unto thee." Now, the key part for us is the decree a thing part. Our job is to state our chosen truth with conviction, without wavering. We don't have to figure out the how it's all going to work out. Our job is simply to set the direction with our focus. And I've got to say it again, this is not magic. It's not about commanding the universe to do your bidding. It's about commanding your own focus. In modern psychology, they'd call this something like cognitive reappraisal, the ability to reframe a situation to change how you feel about it. When you make a decree, you are actively choosing the lens through which you're going to see your reality. So, what does this actually look like in real life? Okay, let's take work. Instead of getting stuck in that loop of "I'm so overwhelmed," you can first deny that feeling's power over you and then affirm, "I am capable and effective." Or in a relationship, you might deny the power of a silly argument and instead affirm, "Love is the guiding principle here." See, you're just redirecting your mental energy. This works so well with habits too. You can deny an old identity like, "I'm a procrastinator," and instead decree the new one, "I'm a person who takes focused action." Your words literally act like a rudder on a ship, steering your attention and eventually your actions toward the person you're choosing to become. All right, enough theory. Let's make this really tangible with a super quick exercise you can do right now. We'll just call it the decree practice. And it takes what, less than a minute? Okay, step 1, just pick one area in your life. That's it. Step 2, create one simple positive statement of truth for it. Something like, "I am resourceful," or "Peace begins with me." Step 3, say it, either out loud or just to yourself, not like you're wishing for it, but like you're stating a fact, a decree. And finally, step 4, and this is the key, you let it go. You release the need to control how it happens. Your work was in the declaration. So let's just pull it all together. Remember, where you put your focus really does shape your experience.
Denials help clear out the mental clutter. Affirmations build the new foundation you want. A decree is simply an act of intentional focus, and doing it consistently is what actually retrains your mind over time.
This whole process, it's not about trying to magically change the world outside of you. It's about methodically mastering the world inside you. And that leaves us with a question to reflect on. What one truth will you choose to build upon today? Next time, we're going to explore Cady's really practical take on faith. You can find this and all the other explainers in our series playlist. Thanks for watching.